In ancient times, captivating tales were handed down from one generation to another, yet they eluded any form of visual documentation, existing as ethereal fragments of another realm.
But we gotta say something or do something. Oh my God!
However, the tides have turned, ushering us into an era where nearly every aspect of our lives is meticulously captured and preserved on video. Join us as we unveil a collection of the most astonishing footage that would have left you awestruck if you'd witnessed it firsthand. Security cameras worldwide capture and monitor streets, aiding in the solving of mysteries that were once unsolvable. However, they don't always provide answers. In India, a recording revealed a busy street with cars and motorcycles when suddenly a shadow appears out of nowhere and crosses the street. The shadow passes through vehicles, indicating it's not a regular person. The camera focuses on this strange event, but the driver showed no reaction. Similar incidents have been recorded in different places, and many people try to explain this phenomenon, but what are your thoughts? Can you explain this footage? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We like to spend time enjoying a good game on the PC or a video game, and we're used to seeing situations where the scenery or some character becomes completely glitched, and often it can be funny. But we don't expect to encounter this kind of situation outside of the virtual world. How can you explain then what happened with this dog? This curious footage would be taken by a driver who was amazed to see this crazy dog running in the middle of the street and decided to film it. The dog spins so fast that it's hard to understand which way it's going. Watching a video like this makes it impossible not to remember the people who believe that we could be living in the Matrix. Are we still running on some freezing PC, or is our program just really poorly written? An Uber driver had a strange incident, and he filmed it for proof. Driving in the city at night, a weird guy appeared from the sidewalk. He stood in front of the car, staring at the driver, and this would scare the driver of the car. Trying to escape, he then reversed, but the guy followed, making it even more scary. Frightened, the driver would then call the police, and the guy only moved when the car did. The driver tried to drive on the sidewalk, but the guy blocked it. He offered him money and help, but got no response. The guy's eyes glowed, making it weirder, and even when the police came, the guy ignored them and kept on following. Finally, the police took the man away, leaving everyone with different theories. This video would be filmed in Brazil by a couple, and they were going to a farm for the weekend where everything seemed initially fine. They traveled on the main highway and then reached a poorly lit dirt road. They wanted to show how difficult it was to reach the property, and so they began to film the path. To their surprise, they would capture something unbelievable. In the video, they saw a rugged and dark road with a flickering light in the distance like a bonfire. And as they got closer, they would see the figure that was made of flames running towards their car. The couple became terrified, but the creature disappeared before reaching them. They then decided to turn back home, but the fiery figure appeared again on the asphalt, giving them quite another scare. The video would cause a division of opinions online, with some believing that it was the famous Brazilian legend, while others thought that it was simply a hoax. A guy decided to place some motion-activated cameras scattered throughout the forest to see what he would capture, and 2 days later, when he returned to retrieve them, he discovered that one of them was completely destroyed, but the memory card was intact. It was from that memory card that this photograph would come out. After the last recording, the creature was not seen again, despite being widely sought after by the inhabitants of the town. On the internet, people have many doubts about the story, and while some believe that it was all forged by the people of the town, others would claim that the images speak for themselves, and they believe that it was a werewolf. Night shift workers, like security guards, have interesting stories. One guard alone in a big empty place would be caught talking to something that was unseen on camera. He often chats with an invisible person in a far chair, as if they were real. This took place around 4 a.m., where he tried to understand why that person was there at the time. After a long conversation, he motions for the unseen entity to leave, and when the security team watched the footage, they asked him about it. Surprisingly, he didn't remember any of it, even after having seen the recording. Now he refuses to work nights, and it's unlikely they'll find anyone else who wants to stay alone there. There are strange things that we don't understand, but seeing a mythical creature like a satyr walking amongst us is unexpected. One video recently appeared showing a woman walking in Sao Paulo. At first, it seemed normal, just a person taking a nighttime stroll. But upon closer inspection, the woman had goat hooves for feet and bent legs like a satyr. The video was shared online and many people agreed. As the woman passed the camera, she reached a crossroad but turned back for no reason. People would notice that even the dog seemed uncomfortable with her strange behaviors. It's both puzzling and raises questions about the person's true identity. Many people think that mythical creatures may have existed or still do exist, and sometimes there are pictures that claim to show these beings. One video would appear online, supposedly filmed by a man in Indonesia. It shows what seems to be a mermaid lying on the beach as though it were sunbathing. Upon first glance, it looks like a doll or a statue, but then it moves its hands, adding to the mystery. The man said that he had gotten close and taken a high-quality picture, but didn't stay long out of fear and respect. Indonesia has a long history of mermaid encounters reported by sailors, making this story even more interesting. The video sparked a debate, some believing the creature could have been real, while others thinking that it was made up. While driving down the road, a woman's attention would be captured by a peculiar sight, a large group of people standing motionless, as if time itself had frozen. Curiosity had tugged at her, urging her to stop the car and investigate, perhaps even capture the strange phenomenon on video to share with others online. Initially, she wondered if it was an elaborate prank, but the sheer number of individuals involved made her question that assumption. As she continued on her way, she encountered even more frozen figures, each one in different poses. A man caught in mid-conversation on his phone, another person gesturing wildly as if caught in mid-sentence. The woman's mind raced, considering the possibility that this could have been a movie or TV show being filmed. Yet, to her surprise, there was no sign of cameras or crew nearby. A sense of unease would wash over her and her family in tow, and she decided that it was best to leave the perplexing scene behind. Uncertainty lingered, and she could not shake the feeling of fear and the anticipation of the unknown. Our South American continent has many legends. One famous creature in various stories would be a witch. These legends may have originated from normal things that grew over time, and in Mexico, people witnessed Samara, believed to be a witch, peacefully flying over a forest in broad daylight. It couldn't have been a drone, as this footage is from 2006, when drones were quite rare. 2 police officers would be called in to investigate, claiming to have seen the witch up close. Nearby residents reported seeing her land on a home near the cemetery. The officers arrived at night and found 2 creatures that matched the description. They flew over the cemetery and vanished into the darkness. Was this filmed incident real or a hoax? Why would the police risk their careers for the story? Now, sometimes planes can leave a white trail called a chemtrail in the sky, but sometimes planes pass without leaving one. In Bucharest, Romania, someone filmed a strange sight. The trail appeared as if there was an aircraft, but there was nothing there. It was like an invisible plane that was crossing the sky. And that's not all. 2 days later, the same person would film something equally mysterious. It was dusk, and the plane's silhouette was transparent, almost invisible, featuring colorful flashes like fireworks. After this, nothing unusual has been seen, but the mystery of these planes remains unsolved. There are famous videos of things moving on their own, and most of the footage does have an explanation. However, there is one mysterious video in the United Kingdom where a man went to a bike parking lot in the morning and found his bicycle on the ground. He checked security cameras and saw that his bike was moving backwards as if someone was pulling it. The bike was stuck in the ground and seemed to detach as if it were being pulled. People had suggested it could have been a shadow, a tattoo, or a setup to scare others. In an Indian hospital, security cameras captured something unbelievable. A wheelchair without a motor began to move in the entrance hall. It went up the stairs smoothly instead of using an easier ramp, and the receptionist noticed the strange movement and went to investigate, where he couldn't believe what he was seeing. In this video, we see a man making videos of wild animals in his country, filming snakes, crocodiles, and other creatures that most people would avoid. However, something even more strange and scary would happen. He and his team would go into the jungle to film a snake when suddenly something mysterious appeared on the camera. He had noticed something strange nearby, and so he and his team had chased after it, but it was just too fast and disappeared into the darkness. Everyone was confused about what they had seen, and when he shared the video, some thought that it might be a person, while others disagreed due to its size and unusual shape when they zoomed in. Ghost stories have captivated people's imaginations for centuries. In the days before cell phones and tiny cameras, those who claimed to have seen ghosts were often met with ridicule. Even today in Mexico, a woman had a similar experience. Her friends mocked her when she had mentioned seeing a ghost near her home. Determined to prove her sanity, she decided to record the ghost over several nights. She checked into a hotel room that would overlook the square and positioned a camera by the window. Night after night, she had patiently watched hours of footage, hoping to capture evidence of the elusive spirit. When finally, her persistence paid off. In the video, a dark figure materialized in the square, gradually assuming a human form. The apparition walked about before vanishing into thin air, and the ghost's appearance was that of a large and shadowy shape, sending chills down her spine. The recording became a testament to the reality of her encounter. There are many famous stories and ideas about creatures in the seven seas, and one of the most infamous would be the mermaid. Sometimes people defend the existence of unknown creatures like mermaids, leading to large discussions, and when new footage of these creatures comes out, the internet goes crazy. This time, there's a video circulating with a curious story. It was found in the hard drive of a marine researcher who is in Greece. The video shows something that looks like a mermaid sitting on a rock, but it's hard to see the details. Many people think that it's fake because the researcher's name is not mentioned and the video quality is blurry, possibly on purpose to hide the truth. With thousands of videos being produced every day, sometimes strange things that seem to have no explanation will end up being recorded on video. A great example of this is the video you're seeing now, and you no doubt notice how bizarre it is. In the footage, we see a child playing with some dogs and walking along, when out of nowhere, a ball appears in the middle of the lane and no one knows where it came from. Have you seen the strange video of a bride on the street at dawn? Nobody knows where it came from or who filmed it, but the rumor is that an Uber driver in Brazil had recorded it. The driver saw a woman dressed as a bride and drove by to offer help. She noticed the car and signaled for a ride. The driver intended to stop and assist her. However, as he got closer, he felt something bad and became scared. He could not gather the courage to stop, so he went around the block and returned later, but when he came back, she had vanished. Now, I don't know what's true or not in this story. A man went on a forest trail where he often took. He didn't mind going alone, especially during the day, and while walking he had heard loud noises as though something was breaking some branches. Curious, he would investigate and record what we're now seeing. The footage shows a huge creature covered in dark fur like a gorilla. It tears tree bark and throws it into a nearby stream, causing the noises. But the footage cuts off, and the creature is already huge. It stands up much larger than expected. The person filming gets scared and then runs away, and they quickly posted the mystery online. Some believe that it's a hoax or that it doesn't exist, while others would say that it was a wild ape or even a Bigfoot. In this footage, a man who's filled with curiosity stumbled upon some mysterious tunnels that were hidden within the depths of the forest. Intrigued, he then decided to document his exploration by making a video, accompanied by his loyal dog under the cloak of darkness. As they ventured into the first tunnel, they encountered bats clinging to the ceiling, a sight that's expected in an abandoned place like this. However, he was not content with this and pressed on further to investigate. The second tunnel would prove to be more daunting, instilling fear within him, and even with his steadfast security dog's comfort, they reached the tunnel's end and a chilling sight awaited them. A towering figure that was shrouded in something mysterious. Overwhelmed with fear, they then fled from the scene in haste, and when he shared the video online, viewers began to comment, skeptical of the creature's authenticity since his dog didn't react. Little did they know, the canine companion was expertly trained to remain calm in the face of danger, ensuring their safety during explorations. In American movies, strange things can scare people. Some say that they've seen something weird but were too scared to film or take photos, so they can only tell a story that nobody believes. However, there are brave people out there who grab the camera no matter what. That's what happened in this video, supposedly filmed in California. A man at a party would awaken to the sound of something going through the trash. He initially thought that it was a dog, but when he saw it, he began filming. The video shows a terrifying creature with a scary face, like a mixture of a wolf and a bat. It's covered in brown fur, has claws, and walks on all fours. It definitely doesn't look like a dog. The video is blurry, but nobody knows for sure. A group of friends were driving to a party on a farm one night, and one person filmed their friend singing on a deserted road lit only by the car's headlights. Suddenly, they saw something crawling towards them from the road into the bushes. They thought that it might be an injured dog and went to the bushes to help. However, they heard the creature growling and howling in the darkness, and that scared them. They then ran back to the car and took off. In Texas, werewolf stories are famous. Many claim to have seen the creature, and some suggest that the animal they thought was a dog could have actually been a werewolf, changing into its human form and crawling on the ground. Recently, some strange noises have frightened and fascinated people worldwide. The sounds resemble a giant airplane's turbines, but nothing can be seen. After a few months, the sound ceased, but videos of these noises continue to surface. One video from Canada is particularly captivating, featuring an incredible and peculiar sound. The person recording wonders if it can be an animal producing the echoing noise. The loud sound emanates from all directions, making it impossible to determine its origin. The recording leaves the person feeling uneasy when suddenly the noise stops as abruptly as it began, adding this footage to the long list of videos that depict unexplained eerie sounds. These days, it's common to have a camera in a child's room to watch them all the time. These cameras can also record and transmit audio, so that parents can hear if their babies are crying. Sometimes, however, strange things do get recorded. In this footage, a sinister voice says, "Help me." The woman's daughter, who is also in the video, hears the sound and goes towards the camera, but there's no one there. The woman in the room doesn't notice anything strange, leading some to believe that the girl is experiencing a supernatural presence that's been captured by the camera. The girl's parents mention that she often plays and laughs alone, as though she's seeing something invisible. People on the internet have different opinions though, some thinking that it might be staged, while others believing that something supernatural is happening in the house, something that's visible only to the little girl. Churches can be mysterious places that make people curious. Many videos of strange things happening in churches are on the internet. One recent video from Brazil is being shared worldwide, showing a closed church door banging at night while people gather outside. They can't figure out why this is happening. The banging continues, and a woman says there's nobody in there. Some people say they've seen similar things in other churches where the door bangs on its own, as if something wants to either get in or get out. Believers think it may be spirits attracted to sacred places seeking salvation, while skeptics would suggest that a machine might be involved. The Ouija board is a debated topic. Some believe that it can contact spirits, while others think that it's manipulated. People find it interesting for stories and movies, while mysterious recordings appear online, sometimes creepy. In a video, a boy plays alone with the board in front of a mirror. The camera is fixed, and the boy moves the board and gets closer to the mirror, creating an eerie scene. The face in the mirror looks different. When the boy moves back to the board, the image stays and stares at him. Some people have tried to explain the video in many different ways: a spirit, a delay of the camera, or even a fake. Regardless, it is quite the bizarre video. Many American cities have vast underground networks and tunnels that have been used for water, gas, electricity, transport, and sewage. These places are famous for their stories, ranging in everything from secrets to mutant turtles that have been trained in kung fu. However, a real video from Denver, Colorado has caused sleepless nights for many. The footage shows a manhole cover jumping and even coming off of the ground briefly. This isn't fake because the cover is heavy, weighing up to 60 kilograms. Some think that a gas leak had caused it, but local experts claim that it's due to water pressure in the storm water gallery. However, since no water droplets are visible, people doubt that explanation. Everyone fears walking over it, suggesting leaks or supernatural events as being possible causes. Strange things will often occur in traffic, usually with a simple explanation. But this footage defies that pattern. A man recorded a peculiar incident in the car ahead of him and watched repeatedly, hoping for an answer. He failed to find one, but shared it online, seeking help to solve the mystery. Pay attention to the car's rearview mirror and the driver's head in front. The man's face moves in various directions, while the mirror reflection remains motionless. The cameraman is shocked, even exclaiming the matrix is broken. Some would speculate that someone resembling the driver is sitting in the back seat, reflected in the mirror. However, upon examining the complete footage, we see that the driver is alone. Another theory suggests that the still mirror image results from the angle, but many would disagree, and unfortunately, a definitive explanation remains elusive. In a small village in Guatemala, people use a trail through the forest to reach the nearest city. Rumors began circulating about a strange occurrence on the trail, people claiming to have seen a shadowy figure appearing out of nowhere, both day and night, causing fear amongst the residents. They believe it to be an angry forest spirit, and to investigate, locals would set up cameras on trees along the trail. The footage captured a boy that was peacefully crossing the area until the shadow suddenly appears, scaring him and grabbing his foot. The shadow then vanishes and the boy runs away. Despite no other evidence or reports, some believe the video shows an unhappy forest spirit, which explains why the story is not widely known due to the village's isolation. A man walks downstairs when suddenly a person emerges from the ground like in a video game glitch. The video is strange and the person looks disconnected. We see how weird it is in slow motion, and the man seems confused about what just happened. Now sadly, nobody knows who made it or posted the video online, so people have become suspicious. Some think that it's the work of computer imagery, while others imagine a hidden door in the wall. Due to the quality of the video, it appears as though the person has come out of nowhere, and I can't help but think of the Matrix and other explanations. Ultimately, nobody knows how it happened, not even the man himself. Talking about glitches in the Matrix, there's a video online that shows something strange. It's about people who can only sleep after getting answers. In the video, filmed from a vehicle, we see someone walking alone in a coat, when suddenly another guy in a red shirt appears out of nowhere. It was surreal when the first guy gave his coat to the red-shirted guy. Some think that it's just camera angles and the red-shirted guy was always there but hidden, while others would suggest supernatural or editing tricks. Some are still seeking answers to this puzzling event, wanting to get closure. Which of these videos did you find the most intriguing? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.